ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Stay hot. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really made me sweat.
Yeah.
Stuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really made me wet.
Yeah.
Well.
Good morning, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Put that camera on you. Let's show everybody that beautiful shirt you have on. I bought that for him for Christmas last year. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And you make it better.
I look absolutely marvelous.
And by bought, he means stole it out of the Goodwill donation.
Yeah, whatever.
That's my secret.
Now
it
looks good.
Go.
It looks good, man. You look handsome. Handsome.
Honestly,
Brian, you look good. I like that shirt you got on.
Well, thank you very much.
I didn't know Wildcat was a drunk till I saw him sober. So
Good Lord, man.
Hey, put that jar down.
You should have seen him yesterday.
Wildcat Day.
Mm-hmm. Some days he's good, some days bad. I really like that shirt, Brian, for real. That's nice.
All right. Well, thank you.
Glenn, tell everybody what you got on.
I have a Bay High football.
Nice cloth.
Yeah.
Good stuff there. I didn't get one of those. That's he gives me he'll bring in to give me a T-shirt. But the real nice, high quality stuff, he kind of forgets to give me those.
I've heard that loyalty matters.
That's right.
Do you have something you want to share with everybody?
Well, yeah, I was going to tell you right off the bat, we want to give a shout out to North Bay Haven volleyball team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they actually beat Bowles, and congratulations. I think they're in the regional semis.
Always a good day when you beat Bowles.
That's right. So congratulations to them, and also Bear Siegel's over there wrestling for the United States over in Bahrain.
Go Bear! Go Bear!
So I think he's going for silver. Maybe going now, because they're like 6 or 7.
Is his dad over there with him?
Yeah.
Okay, he's still over there?
No, not to mention that on TV.
Anyway,
the Delta team is ready to exfil them if Bear causes an incident.
So congratulations to him representing the country and everything. So that's great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yep. So, but anyway,
back in your day, you did a little wrestling over Vietnam.
But it wasn't.
You representing our country of Nam.
Yeah, I wasn't wrestling.
He wrestling Charlie.
Charlie. Yeah. You had some good times though. It wasn't all bad.
Some of them I can't explain on TV. So
Hey, G.I.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Hey, G.I.
Go ahead. We don't mind.
Nay spot. So.
Hey, baby.
You know, my wife might be listening. You can't.
That's right, everybody. Forget it.
Loved you a long time.
I apologize.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, you did some great cooking last night. Tell everybody what you made.
I made some pumpkin spice muffins.
Yeah, that's some good
night.
stuff right there.
I had a mix. I mixed it good, so I'm a good chemist.
You were very good. And the other ones, that banana
bread.
Yeah, what did you get, Wildcat? Which one did you
Banana
get?
bread.
Brian, which one did you get?
I got the banana one.
I got the other one. It was good.
You got one of each.
Shh.
I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to have one.
That's right.
Anyway.
You got the ones that Walter White cooked up.
Yeah. I tell you what, they were outstanding. Right. Hey, I want you guys' opinion on this. This is USA. Now, here's the lineup today. We got Bay High School, 7:15 in the state playoffs. Good job, Jeremy Brown. He always in the state playoffs. Then it's 7:30. Dr. Ward, give him a hand, Dr. Ward, on the Florida Gators. Huge game this weekend against the Georgia Bulldogs. And then, of course, at 8:30, the great one, Mark McLeod.
Hey.
Mark's got everything you need to know what's going on with the Florida Gators. I saw one projection where they'll be going to the Birmingham Bowl, playing in Birmingham. I hope that happens. If it does, I will go to that game. All right, USA Today. Here's their Final Four. This is what they look in the future, and they have all the answers. We don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, they're always
they got
right.
it all, yeah.
Tell me if you agree with these four.
I don't.
Number 1 seed in the Big Ten, Oregon. The number 2 seed out of the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 3 out of the ACC, Clemson. And out of the Big 12, Iowa State, the number 4 seed. Just off your head, what do you guys think?
Oregon's probably most likely, so I get that one. I still think somehow it's going to be Ohio State, but that's fine.
Too.
Georgia, I would agree with. Clemson makes sense if you think Clemson will beat Miami in the championship, and Clemson matches up great with Miami, so I'll give them that one. Honestly, I think you're going to have some chaos in the Big 12. I think BYU is going to lose to Utah this weekend. I think Iowa State's going to lose to Kansas State the last weekend. I'm going to put Kansas State in there.
Kansas State's in at number 4. Glenn?
I'm a little curious because Miami has a way of
that quarterback's
sneaking out.
dangerous.
Yeah, he's good at sneaking out. And I kind of like Brian. I think K-State may sneak in there too because what's going to happen.
So
here.
3 and 4 is a question mark.
Yeah, I 1 and 2. I don't have a problem with.
I've been picking Ohio State the whole time. I still think it's going to be who gets hot at the end of the year.
What's amazing is none of them I think are slam dunks.
No,
which is good.
Hey, it could be Penn State. Who knows, man? Penn State's got Ohio State this weekend. What's going to happen with that? Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, here's the number 5 seed out of the USA Today. At number 5, Penn State. They'll have a home game. Number 6, Notre Dame. Hey, Notre Dame's better than I thought. They're not bad, and their schedule sets up pretty nice. Number 7, all we did number 7, Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 8, Miami. Number 9, Texas. Number 10, Texas A&M. Number 11, BYU. And at number 12, Boise State. So no Tennessee, no Alabama, no LSU. The great state of Texas rules the SEC, I guess, by these people. So that's only 3 from the SEC, right?
Yeah, well,
Georgia,
Texas, Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's it, 3. Big Ten, let's see. Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, that's 3. And the rest of them, who cares?
Well, the way they have it, they have 2 getting in from the ACC and 2 from the Big 12. It's possible. Clemson, Miami, if Miami goes undefeated in the champ game, Clemson beats them, I see that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure 2 from the Big 12 are going to get in.
What if Army runs the table?
They would. Could they get the number 12 spot?
They would take Boise's spot. That's correct. Yeah.
Well, they don't play each other, right?
No, I don't think
neither
so.
does Clemson and Miami.
Well, no, that's right. They don't play each other. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if I have time to get this in today, so I'm going to do it now. This is I like looking at this stuff and seeing at the end who had the best, who was the closest to it, because it's impossible to do it right now, but they do. 24/7 bowl projections for the SEC. Gasparilla Bowl, they got Arkansas playing Army, so Army does not make it in, Glenn. Liberty Bowl, you have Vandy playing Cincinnati. Las Vegas Bowl, this to me would be a down year if this happens. Ole Miss versus Deion Sanders in Colorado. Music City Bowl, one of Glenn's favorite places, Brian's too. Mm-hmm. South Carolina versus Michigan. I talked to Michigan yesterday, by the way. Texas Bowl, Missouri versus Texas Tech. The Citrus Bowl, Alabama, Illinois. Wow. That'd be in Orlando. We might go to that because we can go to Disney.
What was that? Wasn't that Bears' last game? Liberty Bowl? Wasn't it Alabama,
Yeah, I think
Illinois?
you're right. Yeah, it was in Liberty Bowl. Yes, it was. But this would be the Citrus Bowl. Citrus Bowl. And if it's a Citrus Bowl, I want to take the girls to Disney and go to the game. Quest Bowl, Tennessee versus Nebraska. The Gator Bowl, LSU versus Syracuse. Here are your playoffs according to 24/7. Yes, Boise State will be on. Let's see. Okay, Boise State will be on the road at number 5, Ohio State. Number 11, Indiana will be on the road at number 6, Texas. Number 10, Texas A&M will be down in Miami facing number 7, the Hurricanes. Number 9, Notre Dame. Ooh, I like this. I will be at this one. This happens. Number 9 at number 8, Roll Tide. Don't get your hopes up, Bama people. Okay, here we go. So that's who would be playing.
Wow, way to rain on that parade.
Now, number 5, now here's what they got. They think after that series, they don't tell you national chance, but they go one further, though. They go, number 5, Ohio State wins. They'll play number 4, BYU. And that, I think that's in the Fiesta Bowl. Number 6, Texas will play number 3, Clemson. And I don't know where that'd be played, probably the Peach Bowl. Number 7, Miami will play number 2, Georgia. That would be in the Sugar Bowl. Then you'll have number 8, Penn State versus number 1, Oregon. I think that's in the Rose Bowl. They have the teams coming out of that. They have Ohio State versus Oregon, 5 versus 1, 6 versus 2. That would be Texas versus Georgia in a rematch. We could, you know what? We really could see 2 rematches right there. That would be crazy and interesting. Because you know what that would mean? It would probably mean Ohio State and Oregon plays 3 times. It could mean that Georgia and Texas play 3 times. It could happen. I think this is what they're leaning towards right now. Who knows? What do you think, Wildcat? Will we see somebody play somebody 3 times?
It's that kind of a year, so it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You heard it here
Take
first.
Take it to the bank.
You heard it here first.
Wildcat says.
There you
Take
go.
it to the bank.
Head to the bank.
So same thing when I pay my rent, will they take your check?
They say, watch this thing bounce.
Longest first round active streak. At number 5, we have a tie. Oregon, 2020 it started. Who's tied with Oregon? They're in the SEC.
Alabama.
What state do you live in?
I live in Tennessee. Florida.
It's the Florida Gators.
Which of all those houses?
Who's one of the weakest teams that we're going to get ready to mention? This is Florida. Florida must underachieve.
I was thinking you were saying what state I was run out of first, so I was
You're still not allowed back.
Okay.
Number 4, out of the Big Ten, what powerhouse team is it?
Michigan.
Good job. It started in 2019. What team in the SEC is at number 3? All they do is win, and eat.
Vanderbilt.
Mississippi State.
LSU.
Oh, the eat thing threw me.
Eat.
That's right.
Georgia Bulldogs at number 3. It started in 2018. At number 2, who is it out of the powerful Big Ten? The Ohio State Buckeyes. They started back in 2016. And, of course, the number 1 team in all of college land, it started way back in 2019. The one and only Alabama Crimson Tide with Nick Saban.
Wait, you just read a poll where Alabama was number 1?
Yes.
Really?
Well, I was
Could be the last one we
shocked.
get for a while.
What the heck is going on this
When
show?
you get through that nonsense, I like to talk about high school
That
football.
was funny.
Go ahead. Hey, you tell me earlier. I didn't know you
This
had
happy
anything.
days. Arnold's going to the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Go ahead. If you told me you wanted to do that, I'd
Well,
let you
you're
done
looking
it.
right at it, so
I thought this was Florida State update. Go ahead.
I think you had
Rude. Go ahead.
pumpkin spice in your eyes or something. All right, Bay versus Bozeman on Friday. That's homecoming for Bay High School. I guess number 100. Who knows? Mosley's at FSU School, and North Bay Haven will host Sneed's at Arnold. Vernon's at Baker. Mariana's at South Walton. Walton's versus Bluntstown at home. It'd be Port St. Joe versus Jefferson County at home. And Weewaw hosts Central now. That's a private school, I think, out of Jacksonville, if I'm sure. And Freeport hosts Liberty County, Holmes County versus Opp, Alabama, and Chipley versus Lafayette, depending on how you want to say it. And Arnold is open, and Rutherford, their season ended last week.
Over. I talked to Coach Floyd, did a great job this year. He's got that thing growing in the right direction.
He does.
Leave him alone. He'll build a powerhouse over there.
He will.
Arnold, playoffs, great job, Griff. 3 weeks to get ready, Glenn. Floyd gave us a little what he would do. Kind of liked it, give him off Monday and Friday, go hard. The first week, just go in shorts and shoulder pads. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get in the weight room, hit them hard in the weight room. Next week, kind of similar thing. Then the third week, regular game week.
Right.
They've been going now for how many weeks? 12?
Since, I guess.
Well, you got, 3 weeks preseason, right? 12 regular season games with the open dates, I think. Or 11.
11.
Let's just say they've gone 13, 14 weeks straight right now. Their legs are tired, they're worn out, they're sore. And only the strong survive. Who's ever in the playoffs are the strong people, strong individuals. Just like J. Michael's restaurant is very strong, very good. The legendary restaurant, today's special is spaghetti. Only on Wednesday, it will be packed out, lunch and dinner. The legendary J. Michael's restaurant. And if you don't want spaghetti, get you some great seafood, steak, burger. They got the best burgers on the beach. The shrimp is the best fried shrimp I've ever had. The seasoning's all about the seasoning. I went to Glenn's house. He bragged about his. No, he wasn't very good. Was not very good. Nothing like J. Sorry, Glenn.
I'm sorry.
South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker. His dad was the principal at Mosley. He raised a wonderful son. Good-looking guy. He starts a business. It's expanded throughout Northwest Florida. The elite realtors use them. Mark Cowell down on 38. All he does is sell multi-million-dollar homes. They all demand South Oak Title and Closing. So should you. It's your real estate deal. South Oak Title and Closing, #1, no one else. Just like Stevenson Air Conditioning, you have any kind of problem, it's getting ready to get cold. This Sunday, we got to run the clocks back, correct? It'll be
That's
dark
correct.
about 4:50.
So it's dark when you go to work, dark when you come home.
What? Say it again.
So positive.
Dark when you go to work and
Dark when you come home.
It's going to be dark a lot. And you need Stevenson Air Conditioning to keep you warm.
That's right.
Get it serviced about every 6 months. It'll last longer. It'll save you money on your power bill. It's not even close. Use a local company, Stevenson Air Conditioning. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Tomorrow is happy hour. Well, every day's happy hour. But tomorrow they have karaoke going on. Great play. Everybody's having birthday parties down there because the facility's so huge. Go check it out. You'll love it. Buy one, get one free. Lunch specials right across the street from the Navy base. They keep demanding Glenn Manley to be there on Thursday night. We'll try our best. Moss might be there, though. Coop might be there, sign NIL. Steve could be there. Go out there and have a great time. Wildcat, I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. Everybody, hey, y'all don't
Now
even
what
know.
about that?
80 years old today. Happy birthday, baby. We love you. Give me a hand.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I missed something.
The
I
last
think I missed
50
the 70s.
Yeah.
That's what I missed.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the Auburn Tigers. We'll be right back.
I missed it too, but it's a different reason.
This just in. Get the latest sports news, scores, and updates from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes action, live streams, and the chance to interact with your favorite hosts.
Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected.
Join the conversation on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Search for ESPN Northwest Florida and crush the follow button.
I follow you on social media.
We're always here to keep you in the game.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 82 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a gentle breeze out of the east and a temperature of 69. About the same tomorrow, around 81 with mostly sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. Sunny Friday and quite warm around 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore a vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show,
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Give a shout out, David Hayes, the legend.
That's right.
Is watching us or listening this morning. David, we love. Let me tell you something. Everybody out there, one day you're going to say you knew this guy. He's that talented. He's young. He is sweet. He is kind.
I watched
he is
the show
important.
yesterday on
He's incredible.
YouTube.
Yep.
Remember when he used to run the board for us?
Yep.
Man, that was back in the day when we got some great help. I mean, things were so much better when he was on the board.
If David's watching us, that must mean he doesn't want to put the fingers down the throat. It's just, That's the only reason to watch us.
Real quick, I do want to give, I always give a shout out to James Brown. Watch his movie. We all know about Elvis, all the movies they made about his life. But, and I hope you don't get embarrassed. There's one movie you need to watch, the live Glenn Manley story. It's incredible. It's called Billy Jack. Back in right before he went to Nam, the things he put up with. When I read the book about his life story, when he went up to that guy and said, "I'm gonna put my right heel upside your left cheek," and that damn thing you do about it. I didn't know that was true until your dad told me, yeah, he did that. Glenn, I want to thank you for taking up for the Indians.
Yeah, they didn't show that the guy was sitting in a chair, though.
And I was standing on the bar.
Go watch the movie Billy Jack. It's about Glenn Manley. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Brian's
Take a fake ID because it's rated XX.
Yeah.
Brian's got some people that are going to show up this weekend.
Yeah. We've got a lot of people in town. 100-plus soccer teams going to be playing over at Public State Park or Public Sports Park. And it's a good thing they're going to be over there because over near Frank Brown, you got the Iron Man going on this weekend. So that's kind of where the bikes go, is right there up Pier Park Drive and all that. So
everywhere.
Going to be a lot of people here over this weekend.
I didn't know
your
that.
backyard. They come out of your trunk.
A lot of people. Hey, it's a lot of money being brought into Bay County. A lot of business.
Iron Man's huge.
Thank you so much for Richard Sanders for the things you do for Bay County. That guy's a legend. Love that man.
We got
to bring another legend on right now because we're going to run out of time. You guys would shut up and let me talk to him. Let's bring him on now. State championship coach. Now another championship he wins. Another district title goes on his resume. The one and only Coach Jeremy Brown. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Doing good this morning, guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
We got you on. We are doing outstanding. What's that noise? Is that Wildcat? What are you doing?
He's trying to get in his truck.
I'm in.
He's in.
I'm in. I'm good.
It's Wildcat.
Take us off speaker then.
Hey, don't be telling. Sorry, Coach.
He's awful bossy this morning, isn't he?
Old age, 80 years old. Bay High School, Coach, you got it done last week. One of the oldest rivalry in Bay County. And I think Coach Floyd's done a great job. I think those kids play hard. I think he's going to turn that thing around. You've already done it. You're in a state playoffs again. You won a district championship again. And Bay High School wins another big rivalry game. Where does that set you up this week versus Bozeman for as a county? Are you guys fighting for the second place, third place? How's that work?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Arnold got second locked up for them beating us. We're just, again, we're just trying to get to 5-5 and hopefully maybe have a chance to jump into that 6th seed in the playoffs. So we think if we get in the 6th seed, we'll probably host. And then I think it's been quite a few years since Bay High and Bozeman have played, and so just a county rivalry, man. All these kids know each other. They play 7-on-7 with each other. And so we're just trying to go out there and get another win in the county.
Talk about that. There was some counties, like in Polk County, when I started back in the 80s, you'd have to play up 2 classifications because we had all these different, had 1A all the way up to the biggest with Lakeland. And if you played up, we're Lake Wells, we'd always play up 2 classifications because you get 2 extra supplements for 2 more coaches on your staff. And other counties you can play, and other counties they make you play each other. But I think it's important that you play everybody in the county because the money you'll make playing each other. Kind of talk on that a little bit, how important it is to play everybody in the county, if you feel that.
Yeah, I feel like, the schools that are similar enrollment, you know what I mean, should definitely have to play each other. I don't know here the last couple of years how much we've gained out of playing like Mosley, you know what I mean? They're so much bigger. They got so many more kids. They got a freshman JV and a varsity team, you know what I mean? So I don't know how much we gain out of playing them. But I definitely think, the schools are similar situations, economically, the schools that, enrollment wise, I think it's important I definitely think it's important for those teams to play for sure.
Yeah. You make so much money playing in county, it's hard not to do it. What do you think? What do you think about Bozeman? Give us kind of a scouting report. How do you guys match up against them?
Yeah, well, they've kind of, you know, they kind of turned into the, you know, things like the North Bay Haven Satellite School. You know, they got just about all the transfers from North Bay Haven, and so you know, you talk about kids like Lakota Johnson and the Jalen Spurlock and those guys. You know, Gordy's two boys. You know, offensive linemen. You know, they got a handful of really good football players, and so you know, kind of, you know, with a new coach and everything, I think he's done a good job of coming in and kind of trying to establish his, you know, kind of, you know, what he wants to do on offense, what he wants to do on defense, and so we're gonna have to play really, really well to win another county game. You know what I mean? I think this year, you know, outside of Mosley, I think all the county schools were really, really, really even. You know what I mean? I think there was a lot of parity with all the other county schools, and so that's kind of, you know, going into Friday. You know what I mean? Can't turn the ball over. You know, we just got to figure out how to get a lead early, and then we got to figure out how to put our foot on somebody's throat, so to say. You know, just to, you know, get out there and finish and take an early lead and then blow the game open and not be in a dogfight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Coach, this is a homecoming week, too, so it's probably, I don't know how many homecomings we had, but this is the 100th year of graduation, so probably 100 years of football. But talk about some of that. Hopefully you have the parade on Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah, we definitely got the parade on Thursday. We had spectacular, and we brought back the bonfire. The district let us bring back the bonfire this year, and we did powder puff last night with the girls. You know, each class, you know, they get out there and play some flag football, and we had a ton of more students involved in that last night. We were up at school at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. But you know, just trying to bring back some of the old traditions at Bay High, and you know, just tonight they got the dance. I mean, there's something every night this week, and so, you know, that's a whole nother added thing as a coach. You know, trying to make sure your kids, you know, making sure your kids are staying locked in and staying focused. You know, we kind of had to adjust practices a little bit to work around some of the events, but having all of our varsity kids and weightlifting the first two periods or the first period of each day, it helps a lot because we can take care of some film stuff in there. So after school, with us trying to get out there and get an hour and a half in, so the kids can go enjoy the festivities that are going on. We're able to do that, so it kind of worked out. Did you bring Mosley over and show them how to start the bonfire? Or, I mean, you know, no, but they did have a whole fireman crew out there last night. It wasn't the SROs or somebody from the neighborhood. It was they had a whole fire. Yeah, just whole fire unit out there. You used to have to remind them your job's to win the game. All that other stuff is for everybody else. So, yeah, that is exactly. We tell them that every day, Coach. Been telling them that ever since I got into coaching. It was, you know, when they tell everybody when they come back for their, you know, when they come back for their 10, 20-year reunion, all they're going to remember about homecoming is who won the football game. That's right. That's right. You know, back in the day, if we brought our suits into the locker room one time, and our coach threw them out of the locker room and said, if you win, you can go pick them up.
Hey, you know, we didn't even ask you. I apologize. Give us some names who played well against Rutherford. That's a big win, man. That's a big-time rivalry. You got it done. Who played well in that game? You know, I'll tell you, MJ Wilkerson ran the ball really well, really tough. You know, we felt like our offensive line played really well, especially in the fourth quarter. You know, we had to put the game away. You know, we ran counter, and everybody knew we were running counter, and they couldn't do anything to stop it, and we ran it right down and scored. And so I probably should have ran counter a lot more Friday night than what I did. And then defensively, man, we just, you know, our whole defense played really well. I mean, our front seven were getting after the quarterback, made it real uncomfortable for Jaleel. I think we had 8 sacks in the game, and I think we had 18 quarterback pressures. And so, you know, just for those guys to get off the ball and play with such high energy was really good. You know, we gave up 3 field goals, and the touchdown we gave up, we fumbled the ball inside the red zone and gave them a really short field. And so you know, really thought our defense played really well Friday night. Yeah, the two things that I was impressed with on your last drive is, one, your starting quarterback threw one. It must have went between 7 people back there in the secondary, and your guy caught it. And then the other thing was when your quarterback went down, the other guy came in. He did an excellent job of running the team. Yeah, but you know, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't really, you know, we dressed Zay. We didn't plan on playing him. Obviously, we didn't plan on John getting hurt. But you know, when you practice them, I feel like when you practice them the way we do it, and you give them equal reps each week, you know, you go into the game, you know, almost with
like you got two starters. You know what I mean? Like two guys. You don't have to water down your playbook or limit anything when either one of those guys are in. And I think Friday night obviously that paid huge dividends for us.
Jeremy, we're going to continue to call you, even though you're going to have open dates until the playoffs starts, the way the state's set back the schedule.
Yeah,
so
that extra week.
Yeah, so we're going to keep calling you, and we'll know next week, I guess, where you're going to be seated. Real quick, we got about 30 seconds. I think it's a disgrace that a team that wins a district championship does not get to host a first-round playoff game. I don't care what anybody else says. That's wrong. I hope you agree with me.
100%. I mean, you're not. The state says, well, we don't want to, it's not fair for teams that are in 16 district and this and that. Well, they're the ones that made the regions in the district, not us.
Exactly.
Don't punish us because you put us in a 3-team district and we won it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think a team like us, you look at our schedule and see the teams that you play at Escambia, Madison, and Mosley, we're getting punished for playing those tough teams. And I agree with you, Coach. I think it's absurd, and the FHSA needs to do something about it.
Yeah, I always love how they claim like they're a spectator in this whole process.
Right.
If
you believe that, I can fly jet.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, you knocked out of the ballpark what you said. Maybe we can change that. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck to you against Bozeman. And what time that game is? Friday, 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock homecoming. Yes, we'd like for all the alumni to come out and support the band, the cheer, the football team, everybody. Man, let's have a great night and just celebrate Red Pride.
All right, buddy. See you later. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, high school football, get out and support it. A lot of games being played. Homecoming at Bay High School. Glenn Manley will be there. Are they recognize you that night?
Well, they recognize me all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't let me go in the gate.
Yeah, do not admit this,
That's
man.
right. Got pictures everywhere.
He's here. He's here. He's here, run. Anyway, Taco Bell, you talk about high school football, they're such a big supporters for everything around here, all the community, especially Callaway Taco Bell, the Rutherford Rams. All you Rams, get a Taco Bell in Callaway. You Tiger Sharks, there's no doubt. They've got DoorDash now. They do so many great things for community down there. Coach needs to get down there with the whole football team. Take care of Taco Bell. They take care of you down in Port St. Joe. Taco Bell, and we got 3 great locations in Panama City Beach also. We'll be right back. 104 point. Wait a minute. Wait. Time out. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend, every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. He'll be here Monday morning. We'll do an incredible job for you. If you get injured, go see Chad. I love what they did for him. They recognized him, 25-year service at the last Arnold game against Rickards. And Glenn, I keep hearing these rumors something good's going to happen to you. I hope it's true. I hope that thing is true.
Yeah, I've cleared all those charges. That's the rumor. So.
Rudy's transitioning is allowed now.
So. If you've not heard yet, Rudy's is no longer with us. I talked to people up in Texas, and found out what was going on with that. Wonderful. We'll miss them. They do a great job.
Absolutely.
But we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Glenn Manley right here on site. He's in the building. Billy Jack, go watch it. The story of Glenn Manley. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
If anybody hadn't made up their mind about legalizing marijuana, this is what the whole society will be like.
Coach, I miss y'all. I miss y'all so much.
How's it going out there?
It's not the same without y'all.
I know you're back there with family, but we sure do miss you, man.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Wednesday. It's 7:30. We all know what that is. Especially you FSU fans that see me at J. Michaels, you love listening to this man, the legend, Dr. Ward. Doc, how you doing, sir?
Having a great morning. How about you guys?
It couldn't be better, man. We got you on here. Hey, you did a great job last week. You hit 8 of 11, I think.
Really?
Wait a minute. Maybe you didn't.
I don't think so, man.
No. You were 6 of 11.
I think I bombed.
You
counting
bombed
is hard.
You bombed it. Who did I put? Oh, it might have been Josh. I think Josh was 8 of 11. You were 6 of 11, almost as bad as somebody who was 4 of 11. I'm not going to mention Glenn Manley's name.
Welcome
4 of 11.
Yeah, welcome to the basement.
That's okay, Doc, because that's like the first time you've ever done.
Yeah, it is
less than 60%.
No, less than 80. Yeah, that's the only bad week you've had so far.
I think we both picked a few upsets that upset our upsets.
Glenn, don't feel bad. Somebody's got to go to the basement.
That's true.
Speaking of that, what was your biggest surprise last week in the great world of college football?
Alabama's dominating performance over Missouri. I had thought Alabama was going to underperform, and they came out and put it on them. Roll
Tide, baby. Well, they knocked the quarterback out in the first quarter. That helped. I mean, they knocked him out of the game. That helped. The backup quarterback came in and threw 3 interceptions. What else? Anything else stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the scare Ohio State had against a really bad Nebraska team, I think, that was at home. So, I think they've got a ton of questions, around their football team now.
Okay, the one game I was hoping you were going to say, because I want to talk to you about it. What did you think about LSU on the road at Texas A&M? The first half, LSU looked like they're going to blow them out, 17-7 halftime. The second half, it was totally different. I mean, A&M put it on them in the second half. Did you get to watch any of that, or did you see any of the highlights?
No, I watched most of the game, and it really played out the way I thought it would, with A&M being at home and being able to eventually move the ball well against LSU with their running game.
Well, maybe
that quarterback of theirs, man, he's something else. He's a challenge.
When I saw them do the ball, the quarterback hurt them like that with the run, I thought, Florida could maybe watch some of these plays and put a couple of these in, because their quarterback can run also. And they got them, I think, the second last game of the year, they got LSU, I think. Third last game of the year. Now, when did they play them? Yeah, the third.
Yeah, both Ole Miss and LSU look like they're vulnerable to teams that can move the ball. Yeah,
that's what surprised me with Ole Miss. We knew they had gotten these great players to come in there. They bought them. They got them to transfer in there, and honest to God, they've lost those close games. Have they lost 2?
Yeah, but most of their transfers then were on the defensive side of the ball, and they have played better over there.
They lost to LSU.
They lost to LSU in overtime, and then they lost to Kentucky close.
Kentucky, at home, Anyway, I didn't think they would lose those 2 games. Well, LSU, I thought they would lose, but that's only one. All right, Doc, I want to jump in this quick because people like this, and you're pretty good at it. I want to run some. Anything you want to share with everybody before I start asking you questions?
No. Fire away, Coach.
All right, the big game nationally for the Big Ten is going to play a long way. You got undefeated Penn State. They are going to play the Buckeyes this week, and the game is I believe the game's at Penn State. What's your thoughts? Here's the point spread, and you can either say win it or cover or don't. Ohio State's favored by 3.5. Who do you like? What do you like in this one?
Well, all Penn State does is figure out a way to win close football games. They played Wisconsin last week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Figure out, it was tight for a while, but they kind of pulled away at the end. So Ohio State has lost to Oregon. Then I thought they were pretty good until they struggled with Nebraska at home. So I actually think Penn State will actually win this football game.
All right. Put your money on Penn State. Oregon, number 1 Oregon. Do they cover at Michigan? That's a long trip. 14.5 points. Do they cover? You can or pick win, whatever you want to do, but I'm really focusing on the covering right now.
Yeah, no, I don't think they cover. I think they win. I think they win, but it's going to be harder than the last couple games they played. So always hard to travel, always hard to go into a hostile environment. But they've got enough offense to pull it out, but it'll be close. Okay, you got them winning but not covering. Oh, good. I'm gonna skip. I'm just the cover, not who wins and loses. Who covers? Number Florida versus number 2 Georgia. It's 16.5. Does Georgia cover? Yes or no? No, Georgia will not cover. They'll probably win, but they won't cover. Okay. Pitt, number 18 Pitt, which I believe is undefeated, and SMU's good. I think SMU's got a really good team. They're at SMU. SMU's favored by 7.5. What happens in that one? I think SMU wins and covers. Okay. So they cover. Duke at Miami, number 5 ranked Miami, 20.5. Miami's defense isn't the greatest in the world. Their offense is, but Duke ain't that bad. Does Miami cover the 20.5? Miami's a team that you just never actually know what they're going to do because their defense is not stout. So I'm gonna say they actually do cover against Duke. They do cover. Okay. Kentucky at number 7 Tennessee. Kentucky got blown out, gave up 48 against the Gators on the road. At home, Auburn, after a 10-point lead, Auburn comes back and scores 24 unanswered. Does Tennessee get it done? They're favored by 15.5. Do they cover? Yeah, Tennessee will cover. I think Kentucky's done for the season. They just don't have any fight left in them. It wouldn't surprise me if Kentucky loses the rest of their games. Okay. Louisville at number 11 Clemson. Clemson's favored by 8.5. Does Clemson cover? Is that at Clemson? Yes. Yeah, I think Clemson wins and covers. All right, y'all keep an eye on this ball game right here. Just remember I told you, keep an eye out for this game. You got them covering, okay? Indiana, undefeated. They look good. I got to give them credit. They're 6.5-point favorite at Michigan State. Do they cover? I believe they will cover. Michigan State, they were a disappointment last week. I thought they had a real shot at beating Michigan, and they didn't. And I don't even think they were ahead at any point in the game. I know it was maybe a 10-point game, but I think Indiana scores points. Michigan State doesn't. All right. So yeah. Okay, Vegas listens to us every time on Wednesday at 7:30. You people want to bet some money, make money, listen here, Dr. Ward. We will have a service charge, and we'll talk about that later. Air Force, last one, Doc. Air Force at number 21 ranked Army. Does Army cover? They're 23.5-point favorite. Do they cover? Air Force is they're not that good. It's a rivalry game. The service academies usually play each other pretty tight. So I think Army wins, but I don't think they cover. No covering. Okay, Doc, I got something that doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. I need to get checked out. Where should I go? Who should I call? Yeah, well, come see us as dermatology specialists. We can check you over in about 5 minutes, look you over head to toe, make sure everything is good and healthy. See us at one of our 8 area convenient locations at Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Defuniak Egg Springs, Mariana, or Bonifay. 233-3376. All you got to do, call, get an appointment.
I got to tell you a story. Dr. Mitchell, they honored him at Arnold last Friday night, 25-year service he's done for the county. And he's been talking to me about you. He had to get in and see you, and he got in. They took care of him, and he goes, I thought you would get me to see Dr. Ward. I said, well, you got to be pretty special to see him. I said, I get to see him. He laughed. He didn't like it, but he laughed. No, y'all did a great job. He bragged about it. Seriously, y'all do a great job down there. I've been there several times. He's operated me several times, and they do a great job down there. And just like he said, they got offices everywhere. And if it doesn't look right, feel right, and if any kind of bleeding, go see him. 5 minutes can save your life. Don't play around with that stuff, I'm telling you. All right, also, don't forget about John Charlotte, always giving back to the community. I mean, she gave a load of money to the university. They are always helping out people. You want to have a great time. Get out to Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all the sporting events there. Head on down to the mothership this weekend, because all those people that run that marathon, all the things they do, Ironman, they all go there after the game. I've seen there before. When they get through, they want to have a good time, and you will. They're going to have the best bands in the Southeast. And don't forget over there in St. Andrews, now Glenn's favorite place. Mm-hmm. That's the 4th Newbies. Thank you, John and Charlotte. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? It can happen. Jason Kovaleski can make it happen for you. Listen to Jason tomorrow. You can try it before you buy it. He can do it. I'm telling you, if you got a son or daughter playing sports, go sit down with your son or daughter, or just yourself. He will tell you what you should eat, what you shouldn't do, your workout routines, everything. The guy's a genius, no doubt about that. So proud to have that Cajun place back. I'm not sure Jan and Trudy will be here tomorrow night, but we'll be there. Well, I won't be. I'll be in New Orleans, but Brian will probably be down there at 11 o'clock. I think Jason's going. We were there last week, had a great time at 11 o'clock. Julie, me, and Brian, we had a wonderful time. When Glenn didn't show up, it was more food for all of us. We enjoyed that. Thank you, Glenn. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. 27 plus TVs. We'll be right back with the legendary Dr. Ward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, home of the Auburn Tigers. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back.
Wide open down the sideline.
ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphin.
And Kyle Wright.
You take the top off the defense, and the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 82 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a gentle breeze out of the east and a temperature of 69. About the same tomorrow, around 81 with mostly sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. Sunny Friday and quite warm around 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? Now, remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. That's 800-708-3092.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michael Studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's get into these picks for next week, see how we do. Hope we'll get time. Talks about some Gator football. They have a big game. And hey, Doc, are you going to the game or not?
No, I will not be going to the game.
Okay. All right, let's get going. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Arkansas has turned it around. They've done a good job this year. I think got to keep an eye on this one. Who do you like, Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, or Sam Pittman in Arkansas?
Yeah, I tell you what, Arkansas impressed me. Really putting it to Mississippi State and not letting them stay in. And Mississippi State stayed in the game against some really good teams. So I think Ole Miss is going to have some trouble. I actually think Arkansas is going to win this game.
Arkansas. Glenn, what do you think?
I think Arkansas is going to win also.
Brian, I'm going to wait and let you do Thursday.
Okay.
Is that all right?
That works for me.
Vandy at Auburn. This quarterback came in there last year to Auburn, was not intimidating. They blew out the Tigers. He was a quarterback at Michigan, New Mexico State. Now he's at Vandy. They got a good ball club. Who do you like in this one, Vandy or Auburn?
I'm going to go with Vanderbilt. I know Auburn, did some good things last week, but it was against a team that is struggling. Vanderbilt played very well against Texas. I'm going to go with Vanderbilt.
Glenn?
Well, I hate to say it, but, I'm torn between two cities, so I'm going to take Vandy.
Vandy, wow.
Yeah.
All right. UMass, they're terrible. Mississippi State.
Also terrible.
They're terrible also. Who you got, Doc, at Mississippi State?
Mississippi State is less terrible. So
there you go.
I like that.
That's the best compliment we've gotten all year.
Mississippi State.
Yeah. All right. Another one that's pretty easy. Maine at Oklahoma. He loses this one, I think they'll fire him.
Right on the spot, Sheila.
You got Oklahoma?
I got Oklahoma.
Gosh, I don't know if I can go against the Black Bears, but I'll have to take
Mississippi State lost to Maine one year.
This is a huge game, guys. Texas A&M, after the big win last week at home, 108,000 people. They go on the road. I'm going to tell you right now, South Carolina's got two of the best defensive players in the country, especially at freshmen. Texas A&M on the road at South Carolina. It's on ABC. I think it's on ABC that night. Who do you like in this one, Doc?
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. South Carolina is a good team. I just don't think they've got enough to keep it for 4 quarters. So I'm going to go with A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M's on a little roll after that. I'm going to take Texas A&M also.
Okay. Kentucky at Tennessee. Ooh, it's going to get ugly, I think. Who you got?
As much as I hate to pick them, I'm going with Tennessee.
Glenn?
Have to take the Big Orange also.
Big Ugly Orange. They're on a roll. All right, this is a huge football game nationally. Oregon at Michigan. It seems like they found their quarterback now. They're playing better. Can they pull the big upset in the big house? Oregon traveling halfway across the country. Who you got in this one, Oregon or Michigan?
The Mighty Ducks win.
Big Ducks.
Yep.
Glenn?
Me too. The Ducks.
The Big Ducks. All right. North Carolina. Oh, Lord have mercy. North Carolina at FSU.
Yeah.
There's anyway Florida State can. Mac Brown. I got Mac Brown. I'm sorry. Every time I pick FSU, they lose. Who you got in this one, Doc?
I'm going to shock your listeners and pick Florida State. I just think North Carolina is just as bad as Florida State. So I'm going to go with the home field advantage.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think North Carolina's offense is as bad as Florida State's?
No, not the offense is probably a smidge better, but North Carolina's defense is just god-awful.
Okay. All right. Glenn,
well,
pick from your mind, not your heart.
Well, I'm still going to pick FSU, even though Beha has ties to Coach Brown. But I tell you one thing, though. FSU's offense, out of the 600, all the colleges in the whole world, we're in the bottom 25% in offense. But I'm still going to have to pick FSU.
Yeah, I played for Matt Brown. I mean, he was one of our coaches at Southern. I got to go with him. Louisville I'm telling you guys, keep an eye out on this game. Louisville get blown out. Then again, they could upset them. Who you like in this one, Clemson or Louisville?
I'm taking Clemson.
Okay. You didn't listen. Who you got?
I'm going to take Louisville. I think they can keep up with them. You know, they really and truly should have won the Miami.
Should have beat Miami.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a good football. Now, the only problem is that Clemson. And Clemson's defense is really good.
Well, that means your band's sitting in the upper deck.
Yeah. Duke at Miami.
I'd love to pick the Duke Blue Devils, but I can't. So I'm going with Miami as much as it hurts to pick them.
Glenn?
Yeah, Miami's just got too much offense. I'm not sure about the defense, but I just think they'll outscore them.
Okay. This is a huge game in the national scene. Ohio State Buckeyes on the road at Penn State. When you play bad one week, you usually play a lot better the next week. Penn State's undefeated. If they do lose, I think this will be the only game they'll lose this year, and I think they'll get in. Doc, I think you already picked Penn State, correct?
I did.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Penn State even if it's not a whiteout game, because I think it's Franklin's year right now. He's managed to squeak by a couple of things. So maybe somebody else is calling the plays on fourth down.
This game will be played at 11 o'clock get down to the Cajun Place and watch this 11 o'clock, the noon kickoff. All right, Doc, let's talk about it. Florida versus Georgia. Kirby Smart, 6-2 all-time against the Gators. Steve Spurrier owned the Georgia Bulldogs. I think he only lost like one time to them. He set the scoring record in Athens. He blew them out. I think, what year is that, 85? I can't remember what year it was. But what do you think? Is there any way they can upset? If you compare scores, Georgia 13, Kentucky 12, but you can't. You got to go by matchups. Florida blew out Kentucky. What's going to happen?
So I honestly don't know what's going to happen, because when you look at the Georgia offense, they have the ability to play awful, and we've seen them play awful in 3 games this year. No, they tend not to play awful for full quarters, but they have every ability to totally give a game away, like they did against Alabama, like they almost did against Kentucky. I mean, this is not the Georgia Bulldogs that we are accustomed to seeing, but they do have the ability to put it together for 4 quarters and play reasonably well, like they did, against Texas. So, I mean, Florida wins this game if the first half Alabama team is the one that comes out and plays the first half in Jacksonville. Florida is a much improved team. They've improved significantly throughout the season. But what I believe will happen in this game is it will be a relatively close game for the first half. It will be, Georgia will probably in the third quarter with about a 1-touchdown lead, and then they'll probably get tack on another touchdown in the fourth quarter. So I see Georgia winning this game anywhere from 10 to 14 points. But my caveat is, would I be shocked if Florida won? No, but what would it take? Georgia would need to have 3 or 4 turnovers. Florida would need to play a clean game. And that's what it would take for Florida to win this game.
All right, let me ask you this. Florida Gators, Billy Napier. Everybody knows he's on the hot seat. What does he have to do to keep his job? You got these 4 games left. Actually got 5. Georgia, Texas, LSU, and Ole Miss. They're all ranked. They're all powerhouses. They're going to beat FSU. I don't know. The game's played in Tallahassee. That's the only thing that concerns me. But I think Florida beats FSU. What other 2 games? How many more games do you have to win to keep his job? If he goes 2-2 against Georgia, Texas, LSU, and Ole Miss, does he keep his job?
I don't think 2-2 would do it. I think he would have to go 3-1.
Okay. Good luck with that. Do you think there's any way he does that?
I'm less impressed with Ole Miss. I think he could win that game. LSU showed they're susceptible to a quarterback who can run with the ball. So, I mean, that's become a game that looks a little more winnable. It is at home. He's got to figure out a way to either beat Georgia or Texas if he wants to keep his job.
And Texas now, that kickoff game's 11 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, but it's at Texas. So we'll see. All right, Doc, thank you so much. I'll get your pick in a second. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're busy. People really enjoy hearing it because I get to listen to what you say. They always getting on me, what you do say, at Jay Michaels. So you got some good FSU people that just love you. Let me put it that way. Doc,
well, they ought to love me. They ought to love me. I picked them to get their second win of the season this weekend.
That's right. You're fair and balanced. I mean, you got to be fair and balanced.
Yeah, but that means if they lose, they're going to blame you for jinxing them.
Hey, again,
well, I've been picking against them most of the way. So it ain't me jinxing them.
Tell us again, how do we get up with you?
Yes, give us a holler at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City, Beachwater Sound, Santa Rosa Beach, Mariana, Bonifay, or Defuniak Springs. 5 minutes is all it takes to get looked at head to toe and make sure your skin is cancer-free. So see us at Dermatology Specialist of Florida.
He's the best. Thank you, Doc. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, buddy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Beef O'Brady's Lynnhaven. I love Pat. Pat Perno is one of the finest men I know. He is a great city commissioner. His restaurant's incredible. If you're over there in town today, if you cross the bridge in town, anywhere over that way, or just go there anyway. 10 wings and a side only on Wednesday for $9.99. You can't beat that. They got the 10 for 10 going on. They're the friendliest, best customer service you'll get anywhere. If they don't, Pat won't keep them. They treat you like family there. They do an incredible job. All the people work there really like them. Wonderful people, great food, great atmosphere, TVs everywhere. Get out to Beef O'Brady's, have a great day, especially today. On Wednesdays, 10 wings inside for $9.99. If you love pizza, get down there at Paparazzi right here on Thomas Drive. They got the best bakery you've ever seen in your life. The Paradise Cake, the Napoleon, and the Carrot Cake. That's just 3 of them they got. They got plenty, but those 3 are incredible. Pizza's unbelievable. The lasagna, the spaghetti, everything at Paparazzi. 2 huge slices, Glenn, in a drink for $11 and some change. You can't beat that. 2 people can eat off that. You don't just share it. I want to thank Taco Bell, those fine people down there. Turpro Pest Control, you want that yard to look beautiful? Call Patrick. He'll come out. It'll look beautiful. Also, 24/7 workout. Anytime you want, we're at Anytime Fitness in Callaway. Liz Hunt does a great job down there. Anytime Fitness Callaway. 24/7. Go work out. She's a veteran. Go support her big time. Wildcat, I want some fine jewelry. I want to go pick out something for you. Where should I go?
Well, you are just in time for a brand new selection of jewelry, 75% off everything at the store. Where, do you ask, am I talking about?
Where?
I'm talking about David Adamson Designer Jewelry. Repair it, have it appraised. Create something of your own, make it unique. The Highway 77 in Lynnhaven, David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
They do a great job. We'll be right back. Go 49ers. We'll be right back with Glenn Manley, with Brian, with Wildcat, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, Alabama Crimson Tide.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your touchdown headquarters for the Mosley Dolphins and the Auburn Tigers. Plus, premier college and NFL games. Your source for the most live football on the Gulf Coast in a rich audio experience.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 82 and wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a gentle breeze out of the east and a temperature of 69. About the same tomorrow, around 81 with mostly sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. Sunny Friday and quite warm around 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's football season, and that boot store reminds you to roll tide. Go Noles, War Eagles, sick 'em dogs, and go Gators. Before the cold weather hits, shop that boot store for all your winter western wear and Carhartt work clothes to keep you warm on the job. That boot store, where God is good all the time. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Berkey at 15th Street, Panama City, that boot store.
WVLQ Point St. Joe, WGSX Energy, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest members of the Panama City Beach Chamber to our vibrant business community.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Beyond Birth, pre- and postnatal services, 850 Signs, Milkshake Factory, coming soon, Rio Stone Group, and Nexa Mortgage, Bob Love.
We're here to support your success and help you connect with our community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bama roll. Open week for Bama this week. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Condition. Number one at what they do an incredible job. Anytime, day or night, they're there for you. Call them up. They'll get there as soon as they can. They'll do an incredible job. You will be pleased, believe me. They're locals here. Make sure we're using local companies, local people. Jason grew up here, graduated from Mosley High School, does an incredible job. It's one of the few things you actually pay for it, pay for itself over a period of time. Get it serviced every 6 months. It'll save you money in your power bill. If you got an old one, all it does is run. Your power bill is going through the roof. Get rid of it. Your power will be cutting at least, I would say at least 40%, probably 50%. You're going to save money every single month. Stevenson Air Conditioning. You hear me? Come on, man.
I'm listening.
I hear you.
You hear me? Come on.
Here's a common problem. A lot of times when you've had your air conditioner running all summer long and you switch it over, especially with heat pumps, you switch it over so it'll provide heat in the house. It doesn't work. Call those guys. They know what to do. It's a quick, easy fix.
Thank you.
Very inexpensive.
You're highly intelligent. You know what? Thank you for that.
I know.
Holmes County at
Holmes County.
And also Vernon at Baker. And Walton versus Bluntstown.
By the way, Carrollwood Day is down in Tampa. They're 4-3 on the season. They've got a win over Berkeley Prep. They may not be that bad.
Ooh.
Their losses are to bigger schools: Plant, Cardinal Newman, and then Booker.
Wow.
So,
and they're playing Destin, correct?
Now that's a long trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
We shall see. All right, Alabama Update. Let's get it rolling. Alabama has an open week this week. Hopefully
open house, yeah.
Get everybody healthy. Get ready. You win, you got a chance to be in. If you lose, you're done. Both teams know that. This is a huge football game. ABC picked this game, not Georgia and Ole Miss, which made Lane Kiffin really upset. He went off on this. He goes, you know what? It'd be nice for our fans to have a night game. And this is a pretty big game when you play the Georgia Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. Ole Miss has lost 2 games. Georgia's only lost 1 game. Alabama's lost 2. LSU's lost 2. I kind of get where he's coming from.
It's about LSU because everybody feels this way every year. Everybody feels like LSU gets the nighttime things.
Well, it's all driven by revenue, money. Go look it up. When Bama plays, people watch Bama.
I did want to mention something because I heard you talking about this with the jerseys yesterday, and I don't know how it is now, but I know what it used to be in a weird way. It actually was the visiting team that got to decide, and nearly everybody would always defer and just say visitors wear white and whatever. But because LSU loves wearing their white jerseys at home, white at night, as they call it.
White at night.
Jackie Sherrill. The only reason I know this because Jackie Sherrill used to purposely try and get under their skin. It worked really well. They blew us out every year. But he used to go in there and say, no, we're going to wear the road whites so that LSU would have to wear purple just to irritate them. And then they'd proceed to beat us by 50. But,
wow, okay.
But yeah,
you heard that
so again,
here.
I don't know if the rule's the same anymore, but that's how it used to be because I remember Sherrill used to do that.
And Brian used to work at Mississippi State, knew Jackie Sherrill, so you heard it here first. Okay, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Thank you.
I didn't know him well. He would say, "Hey, move out of the way" when he walked past me. But, you know,
he was
I loved Jackie
tough
Sherrill.
man.
He's a great
tough
guy.
man. Good coach, great coach. Played for the legendary Paul Bear Bryant. But anyway, the ABC is in it to make money, and they know more eyeballs will watch Alabama than Ole Miss. And they know at night they've been knocking out of the ballpark. The 2:30 kickoff game's been making them big time money, and then the night game has been knocking it out of the roof. When Alabama played Tennessee and Georgia was playing, I think Texas, they broke records that's been standing for 40-something years or 28 years, something like that. So that's the reason Alabama and LSU will be playing at night, even though Georgia has a better record and LSU matches Ole Miss. Ole Miss matches Alabama and LSU. All right, Alabama, but this is about Saturdays down south. They not only have Alabama's where they're going to play in the bowl game, they have everybody. So I want to go over this with you. Give me a minute, I want to share this with you. It's not just about Bama. I'm sharing some love with everybody. At the Sugar Bowl, here's what they got playing. And they pointed out that if the number one seed wanted to hurt Georgia or the SEC champ, then maybe you'd want to pick to play in the Sugar Bowl and make them go out to the Rose Bowl. If it's Oregon, I would not do that if I'm Oregon. I would pick, of course, it's who you're going to play, too. You know, they look at all these factors. So don't be shocked if you see an SEC number 2 seed team in the Rose Bowl instead of the Sugar Bowl. And then we'll get into that. As we get closer to the actual games happening and we know who's playing, we'll explain to you what's going on with that because there is going to be some game planning on that. Who plays 8, who's ranked 8, who's ranked 9th, where do you want them to play at, and things like that. But right now, this Saturdays down south took this in consideration. This is what they have. In the Sugar Bowl, they have Oregon versus the number 8 and number 9 winner. In the Rose Bowl, they have the number 2 seed team, Georgia, in the Rose Bowl. They're going to travel out there and play the winner of 7 and 10. The Peach Bowl will have Miami versus the winner of 6 seed and 11 seed team. The Fiesta Bowl, they've got BYU getting in there, playing the number 5 or number 12 winner, which will probably be number 5. Here are your seeds. Number 5, the Ohio State Buckeyes will play number 12, Boise State. That game will be played in Columbus. The winner of that game will play BYU in the Fiesta Bowl, according to Saturdays Down South. Number 6 seed, the Texas A&M Aggies will play at home versus number 11, Iowa State. The winner of that game will go play in the Peach Bowl versus Miami. I think it would be A&M. Number 7, Penn State will be at home versus number 10, Notre Dame. The winner of that game will go to the Rose Bowl and play Georgia. Number 8 seeded Texas Longhorns will play number 9, Clemson. The game will be played in Austin. The winner of that game will go to the Sugar Bowl and play Oregon. What happens to the rest of the SEC? You're talking about this. I'll tell you right now. Citrus Bowl, they've got Tennessee down in Orlando playing Indiana. Quest Bowl, that's in Tampa, right? Quest Bowl's in Tampa?
Think so.
Yeah. They got Alabama playing Nebraska. I would go that. I've never been there. And then you have the Music City Bowl. I'd love to go to that one. The Music City Bowl, because I love that city. LSU versus Iowa. Las Vegas Bowl, you'll get to see Deion Sanders. And you'll be playing Ole Miss, Deion. You'll be playing Lane Kiffin. Texas Bowl will have Arkansas versus Texas Tech. The Gator Bowl will have Missouri Tigers playing Duke. Liberty Bowl, you'll have Vandy, and Glenn will be there. Vandy versus TCU. And then the Birmingham Bowl, I'm hoping it's the Florida Gators, but they have South Carolina playing Wake Forest. Gasparillo Bowl, I hope they flip this one. The Gasparillo Bowl, they got Florida playing BC.
you don't want Alabama in the Music City. And here's why. Because you go over that walking bridge over to the stadium, and if you look down to your left, you're going to see the goalpost that they threw into the river after Vandy beat us. So we do not want Alabama in the Music City game. That'll be a little bit traumatic.
Yeah, the Woodland Street Bridge.
I tell you what, if they play Nebraska in the Quest Bowl, I might go to that. I might go to that. All right, that's our Bama update today. Again, they got an open date. They're getting ready for LSU. They'll give them all Friday, get their legs up under them, and then get back to work on Sunday, getting ready for the LSU Fighting Tigers. That's going to be, I don't think it's a good matchup for Bama. If our secondary does not play 100% better, we will get blown out. You heard it here first. Hopefully not. Bama usually plays really well on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge, more than anybody else in college football does against LSU at LSU at night. I want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama update. I want to thank J. Michael's Restaurant. Best seafood, coldest beer. Today's special, spaghetti. It will be packed out. Come visit at 11 o'clock. Come back at dinner. It's incredible. You can also get it to go. But they got the best seafood, the best fried shrimp I've ever had in my life, and they got great burgers and steaks. The legendary J. Michael's. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Again, thank you so much for the Alabama update. Love Jason, those guys. Don't make a mistake. Use them. I did the best thing I've ever done. That's an honest people down there. Great people. Chuck Tucker's the same thing. Chuck's a wonderful man. South Oak Title and Closing for all real estate closing. There's don't even think about anybody else. It's South Oak Title and Closing. Write that down. South Oak Title and Closing. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill right across the street from the Navy base. Tomorrow's karaoke. It's the place to have birthday parties. Everybody's having them there. Great atmosphere. TVs everywhere. When the NFL games are on, college football games on, $5 pitchers. Go check it out. Buy one, get one free. And the legend, Dr. Chad Mitchell, 25 years on Bay County sidelines. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the Mosley Dolphins. Yes, Mosley Dolphins. Listen to their radio games. Listen to football games right here on ESPN 104.3. David and Kyle do an incredible job. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Do it, Rod.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 82 and wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a gentle breeze out of the east and a temperature of 69. About the same tomorrow, around 81 with mostly sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. Sunny Friday and quite warm around 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking to stand out and bring more customers to your business? Leon Visuals has you covered. At Leon Visuals, we specialize in eye-catching photography, dynamic videos, and stunning drone shots. Whether you're running a restaurant, a boutique, or a real estate company, Leon Visuals creates media that boosts your online presence and social media content that attracts real, measurable results. Visit leon-visuals.com or call 725-373-3826.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore portable building dealer, Panama City.
College football isn't life and death. It's much more important than that. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa! Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. and that beautiful grandchild up in Atlanta. War Eagle. Auburn gets a big win last week, 24-10. They finally let the big dog run, and Hunter did not disappoint. He actually now with that performance, he's a leading rusher in the SEC. Got all kind of national awards. Get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Today's special, 10 wings inside for $9.99 in Lynn Haven. Get out to Beef O'Brady's. We got a phone call. I think he's a big, is this a Michigan guy? Isn't he a Michigan guy? Is this Big Mike?
It is. Go blue, baby. Go blue.
Hey.
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
We missed that voice. I'm glad to hear that voice again.
Oh, yeah. Well, this boy's got to sing a song on Saturday for my 40th anniversary.
Hey, all right. Woo! Good job.
Why should get a medal? I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm only 57, so do that, man.
In the Navy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, love you guys' stuff today. Yeah, just wanted to throw out one thing was the 2A District 1 swimming is today out at Frank Brown Park, and I'm actually headed there for your favorite dive coach, Dana.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Woo! Yeah, she's got 6 fantastic athletes about to kick it off at 9:30, and I bet you $5 she'd take a box of donuts on one of your days that she gets all 6 of those kids to state.
Yeah,
because she's just that good.
She's awesome. So, listen, let's get you. Brian and I talked about this at lunch the other day, or maybe we were at the Cajun Place for the college games. We got to get you and her on here again, and you can bring those donuts at that time.
All right. Well, hey, that's perfect because she's a Bama girl.
Yes,
and I know you're a Bama guy, so she likes wearing that stuff. Hey, I had a question for you guys.
Okay.
It was going back to the quarterback, the young kid out of Florida, plays for the Colts that tapped out of the game. And, I mean, that's a bad look. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was even worse for them to put him in front of a microphone without even a plan to say what the hell really happened. Because what I saw, and we do a lot of training now for the young kids in dive school and these EOD pipelines and the high-risk training for the military.
Yeah.
It's all resiliency training. And that's for when bad things happen, you can evaluate and move forward and be mentally tough. I didn't see that kid. I know he's young, but I'm like, where's his mental toughness? Where's his fight? Most of those quarterbacks got to be drug off the field.
But here's the only thing I'll say, Mike, and I was thinking about this too. It is a bad look, and people, certainly who've been around longer would view it as a terrible look. But I honestly think a lot of these players, now you look at it in baseball with pitchers and all that, I think they're actually brought up and taught, if you're not at your best, tap out and let someone else in there, which is completely foreign to what we're... So I'm not 100% sure he hasn't been kind of told that along the way coming up, but man, I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I saw it happen on the field, watching it, and then the press conference, and it just didn't. What bugged me, and this kid's probably a fine young man, but it just didn't seem like it even registered for him. They're like that wasn't a big deal. I'm the quarterback, so what? I walked off the field.
Mike, and, what do you think? What do you think about now, though? South Carolina's getting ready to play Alabama, and their linebackers, second-team linebackers, which played really well for him the whole year. He walks in your office and says, "Coach, I'm on redshirt. I'm going to sit out." And the coach goes, "That's not how it works. We tell the players in their red shirt." I mean, the players have all the power in college football now. And the NFL, I don't know. That kind of surprised. I didn't see it, so I don't know really what y'all are talking about, but I heard about it.
Yeah, well, I don't get that either. It's like, Michigan loses one more game. I bet you half of our defense, and this is what they're going to do. This is how the kids are. We got all these 4 or 5, 6 kids that are supposed to go to the NFL. I bet they just shut it down. I mean, what are they playing for? The Holiday Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care about that. They got millions on the line, and I suppose I get that part, but I also get that the season ain't over. Get your butt out there. So,
that's the reason I hope, and I'm just my opinion, I hope they are employees. I hope they're hired. Everything's written out in your contract, what you can do, what you can't do, and then you sign the contract. You're there. You can't leave until the contract's up. If you don't play these games, you don't get your money. So I think they got to be employees where you can control them. If not, they're going to control the show.
Yeah, well, I think they kind of already are.
Yeah, You're right.
Hey, another thing was the bowl season. I'm curious if Brian's going to be right that we're going to do the 12-team playoff. Nobody's going to watch the bowls because the alpha players aren't playing, and they're going to have to switch the bowls to the beginning of the season.
He said that about 4 years ago, and I thought it was a great idea then. Yeah. They would make money then. It would pack out. It's like the neutral site games Alabama used to play in. It would be packed out. I think that was a great idea then, and I think they should do that, especially now with the playoffs. I think they should do that.
A game, what they call it, 0 week, the week.
Yeah.
Week one is the kids are still invested at that point.
Right.
And and I just say, it has to be motivating for them to still be able to win something. Because once they know they're not winning, I don't know. The second team guys, like you just said, are bowing out. That's even worse.
Right.
How do you get them ready? So, but hey, I just want to call and say, hey.
Well, I'm glad you did. Call more often now. Don't be a stranger. Call us more often. And Brian will get up where we get.
Well, I'll see you at the pool in a couple hours.
Yeah, we got to figure out when we get him in there.
Hey, was Glenn in there with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doctor. Hey, good morning, Glenn. Hey,
yes,
Joe,
sir.
my son from back in the 2000 said hello to you.
Oh, good. How's he doing?
He's doing great. Daddy now. Got plenty of grandkids from him.
All right.
Life's going well.
You know what, Mike? It kind of upsets me you just did that. It's the same thing. We go to a restaurant. They come up and say hi to me. They see Glenn. They forget me, and it's all about him.
No. Well, but remember, Glenn.
He's a legend.
My son knows him personally, and I know him personally, and I met you on the show. So hey,
I'm just afraid Coach is going to stick him with the bill. That's what it is.
Yeah. Thank you, Wildcat.
Well, and make sure you listen tomorrow, Mike. I'll be hosting the Glenn Manley Coaches Show tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's the reason I don't let Glenn do it anymore. He changes the name when I leave. All right, Mike. Thank you, buddy, for calling.
Thanks, Mike. Tell him how.
All right, see you guys.
Glenn, real quick, what you got on FSU?
Well, they're playing North Carolina, as you know, and they started playing in 1983, and they played all the way up to 2021. And then when the ACC changed the schedule around, they haven't played them since 2021. But FSU owns the series, 17 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. And then they first started playing in 1983. FSU won that game 28-3, and the last one was in 2021, and they won 35-25. And so, and also our big ESPN guy, Stephen A. Smith, thinks that Prime should be the FSU football coach. He said, don't get rid of Norville this year. Give him 1 more year because he did have the 13-0 season. So, but after that, if it doesn't work out, he thinks Prime should be there. So we'll see what goes on with that. Who knows? The 4A running back commitment, Brian Lewis out of American Heritage says, hang in there, FSU recruits, trust the process, get in there and do what you're supposed to do. So, we've lost 4 5-star wide receivers. And so, the last one being C.J. Wiley, and they've all decommitted. But we have some linemen coming. Again, when you start worrying about what's going on, they're talking about going through the portal again, but I think he said they're going to be a lot more selective. As we all know, Cam Ward was playing in Miami against FSU, and I think he decided he was going to go to Miami, but he declared he would be going to the NFL, so we backed off. And then he said, oh, no, my bad, I'm going to Miami. So, how that goes. That's the money talking, and we'll see what goes on. So, hopefully we pick this up, and this makes our second win. We'll see what goes on. But I think they're going to give Luke Cromenhook more time. I think he had a little more production than Brock Glenn, even though Brock Glenn is a redshirt freshman and Luke is just a freshman. So
all right, North Carolina at FSU.
Yep.
Brought to you by Newbies. Get out to Newbies. 4 great locations. The new one, St. Andrews, also Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go check it out and have a great time. Watch all the ball games right there. Beef O'Brady's, love Beef O'Brady's over in Lynn Haven. Pat does a wonderful job as city commissioner. Today's special, Beef O'Brady's 10 wings inside for $9.99. $1.99. Get out there and pack that place out and have a great time. And tell everybody in there that Coach sent you. They treat you like family at Before Brazen Lynn Haven. Love those people there. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kowaleski can make it happen for you. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't put off 5 minutes can save your life. Go see Dr. Ward. That Cajun place, Brian and I had a great time with Julie down there Saturday, watching the games, having a great fellowship down there. The wings are incredible. The best wings you'll get anywhere right there at the Cajun place. And we did not get dessert. We really didn't. We wanted it. Brian talked about it. I talked about it, but we did not do it. Go check it out. 27 plus TVs, $5 pictures, and the best wings anywhere. The bread pudding's incredible. The beignets, it's like being on Bourbon Street. Go check it out. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. You love pizza, it's Paparazzi. They got the best pizza. They got the best bakery. The deli is incredible. Check it out on Thomas Drive. You will absolutely love it. Taco Bell, Port St. Joe. You Tiger Sharks, get down to Taco Bell. They do DoorDash. They're incredible. All you Rutherford Rams, Callaway, Taco Bell. 3 great locations on Panama City Beach. And we'll be right back with Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State.
Woo! Sick of people calling here talking about Glenn.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins!
And Kyle Wright.
And the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
The Mosley Dolphins take on rivals Niceville, Rutherford, and the Bay Tornadoes. Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
All roads lead to adventures and a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Get ready to forge a new path in 2025 and discover our new Kia SUV family. Bill Bird Kia is now offering 1.90% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. It's the best family SUV with third-row seating space for the entire family to unwind. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento with $21.65 per month for $1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 10/31/24.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! This week, 2:30, ABC, Jacksonville, Florida. Florida versus Georgia. What is going to happen? We'll get some insight right now from the man, the myth, the legendary Mark McLeod. Mark, how you doing, sir?
Hey, good morning, Coach. Good to be on with you.
Good morning. Thank you for taking time out and being with us. We really appreciate it. People really enjoy hearing your voice and everything you got to share with everybody. And Mark, what's some other ways people here can listen to you and get information from you?
Yeah, blitzsportsradio.com. We have the blog and everything going on there, and certainly some radio stuff. Also, at McLeod Live on X.
All right, let's get into it. Steve Spurrier won 11 of 12, Florida versus Georgia. I think it was in 1985. He just blew them out of the water up in Athens. What's the highest?
185.
What year was it? When not 85. What year was it? Spurrier went in there and just beat him like a drum in Athens.
Oh,
I mean, what was it? 50-something points.
For Coach Moon, I thought it was every year, pretty much.
That'll get the phones going.
Yeah. I think 97 was the year when they beat Florida, but outside of that, Spurrier had their number, and it needed to happen because they had walked the dog, so to speak, on Florida.
Well, right now, Kirby's walking the dog. He's 6-2, but that's what I was going to say. In 1985, Georgia went into the game and upset, beat the number one team in the nation.
Yeah, they did.
Now,
they did.
Saying that, could that happen this Saturday?
No, because George's number 2.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Glenn, so much. Really appreciate that.
But hey,
can they win the damn game, Glenn?
Judy
Tenuta said it can happen.
Yeah, you said it on the tee. Don't get upset if he hits it.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Thank you, Glenn. Anyway, Glenn ruined the whole dang segment now. Is there any way? I mean, think about it. And you can't compare. We talked about this earlier. You cannot compare scores. You compare matchups. How does Florida match up with Georgia? It's Kentucky 13-12. Georgia escapes in Lexington. Kentucky goes to Florida, gets blown out, gives up 48 points. You can't compare that. But matchups. How does Florida and Georgia match up?
Yeah, and this is a rivalry game. I mean, Georgia's going to be jacked up, ready to play. Florida should be jacked up, ready to play. I think they in some areas they match up pretty well. In other areas they don't. And right now, one of the major things with Florida, obviously, when you go back and you look at what they were doing 2 weeks ago, you saw injuries. And you saw a lot of guys out. You saw a lot of freshmen on the field getting it done for the Gators 2 weeks ago, which was kind of a surprise. But we don't know who's coming back and who's not. Yesterday, Napier was extremely vague in his press conference, essentially being asked about specifically one player, and he said, well, you'll find out Wednesday at 8:10, Wow. So that's where he is with injury. He will not comment on it whatsoever. He was asked a question, and this really got me, because he was asked a question about Georgia. Look, Coach, Georgia in the last 2 years against you has scored a combined 54 points in the first half alone. And you guys have only scored 10. How important is it for you to try to get off to a fast start? And he said, well, you look at analytics, guys, and it's very important to get off to a fast start. That'll tell you that, and this and that. And, you want to get off to a fast start. You want to do this. He offered absolutely zero on, here's what we want to change something up. We've got to make some things happen here and here. Didn't talk about his own team at all. Just gave a general 3-paragraph answer on starting fast that had absolutely nothing to do with Florida or Georgia. And, that's where I think the fans really have grown frustrated a little bit. I know the media has, but certainly the fans as well. Look, Florida has 3 games this season where they've gotten a touchdown in the first quarter. Everything else is 3 points or being shut out by Texas A&M. They don't start fast. They haven't started fast under Billy Napier since he's been at Florida. It's very rare to see Florida start fast. So you're looking at that, and I think that was a relevant question because Georgia has pounded Florida often and early in this series under Billy Napier.
Yeah, what was it last year? 43-20, something like that.
Yeah, it was horrible, horrible. And again, you've got a Florida team that looks like they're getting better. Certainly the defense has gotten better. There's no question. I think people like what they see with DJ Lagway and Jaden Ball in the backfield together. Although with Ball and Jacoby, Jacoby Jackson. I mean, you've got issues with one pass protection, and so that's, they run the ball fine, but man, you've got to have that pass protection, especially against a Georgia team that looks like they're coming together and getting better and getting after the quarterback better.
Mark, what kind of give us a formula that Florida could go up and pull the upset? What has to happen? Turnovers? Where's a matchup that Florida can take advantage of, and what do they got to stop Georgia from doing?
I think when you look at Georgia, the pass defense is an area where they like to shore it up a little bit and improve. So I think DJ Lagway and company can find some areas to exploit Georgia, to burn them a little bit. I think first and foremost, Florida's got to come out physical. They got to come out physical and ready to play. We've seen a switch with Napier when you go back 4 weeks ago. He's changed the Wednesday practice. Wednesday is now a grueling, physical, blood and guts practice, and he had to do that because he wasn't seeing the physical play on Saturday. So they did that, and since then, they've gotten that part of the game. They're going to have to do that against Georgia because Georgia's going to come out and punch them in the mouth. Georgia, I think we're seeing Georgia wake up in a lot of areas, and they look like a pretty good football team now. But I think that's the one area, Coach. But again, you've got to have the backs, the tight ends. Everybody's got to pass protect well against Georgia. And if you look at what's happened under Billy Napier with Graham Mertz and company, Anthony Richardson being chased out of the pocket, that has been the one area where Georgia, they've gotten pressure and they've affected the quarterback with maybe changing up some blitz schemes, drop a guy back that confuses a quarterback. That's what they've been able to do to Florida in the past 2 years with Napier. And lo and behold, now you've got a freshman quarterback. So he's going to have to be at the top of his game. He's an awfully talented young man, but he's going to be at the top of his game and be able to escape and run out of there a little bit when the pressure breaks.
Yeah, I tell you what, last week, their last game against Texas, Georgia's defense looked like the old Georgia defense. They looked intimidating, fast, and they knocked the heck out of you. And they've had 2 weeks to get ready for the Florida Gators. Kirby's pretty good when he's got 2 weeks to get ready for somebody. But this year in college football has been crazy. We've seen all kind of crazy things happen. It's not going to shock me to death if Florida wins this ball game.
Yeah, you're right. Look, Georgia is one thing that I think has really hurt Georgia this year is Georgia, when their defenses are really good, man, they take advantage of takeaways. They will start the ball loose. They will pick it off. But you haven't seen that from Georgia this year. They're that's not who they are, and I think that's one area where Kirby has really been a little frustrated with his team because they've had some opportunities for turnovers and they haven't been able to take advantage of it defensively and get the ball back in the hands of the offense. Florida, the same thing. Although you saw against Kentucky, you saw Florida begin to do some of that, and I think playing more physical football the way Florida has the past 2 games. 3 games maybe, but certainly 2. I think you're maybe that's going to help Florida, and because we saw last year they were Temple is worst team in the country in terms of takeaways and takeaways gained, and Florida was right above them. So that's something that if you want to beat Georgia, you better win the turnover battle, and they're going to have to take advantage and get some pass protection to get that passing game going. Because I think with Florida, like you've seen in the Kentucky game, Florida really set up the run with the pass. They reversed it. Billy has always wanted to set up the pass with a run and mix it up a little bit. But I think that's the way Florida's going to have to go because they do not have an offensive line that is capable of dominating anybody in the run game.
All right, we got Mark McLeod with us. We're back. We'll finish up with the Florida Gators. I might have a question about coaching, too. Spurrier and Kirby Smart, probably the 2 best. Vince Dooley did a great job for 25 years, but he didn't win the national championships at the pace that Kirby Smart has. Spurrier's been unbelievable. I got to question him about a couple things with that. I can't look at that right now and start laughing, Glenn. But anyway, we'll be right back with Mark McLeod. Let's talk about a couple things. I want to get some jewelry We want to get Mark something nice, maybe some Gator stuff. We want to get it designed nicely. Where would we go?
You know, Mark deserves the absolute best.
He is the best.
You need to go to David Adamson Designer Jewelry, where you can design something and make it one of a kind, where you can have your jewelry fixed, appraised, or even sell it to them. And right now, 25, 75% off, and a whole bunch of new stuff in stock just in time for Christmas. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Right there. What location?
Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
Yeah, get out there. I tell you, the facility's beautiful. They do a great job. They don't send it off for 6 weeks or 4 weeks. They get it done right there. They do a great job. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look beautiful like a golf course? It can happen. Turf Pro Pest Control is number one. Patrick will be in here every Monday. Matter of fact, he's coming in early next Monday. Looking forward for that. Also, 24/7 working out. You know, you're busy. Everybody's working. You might not can go early in the morning. You might not go right after work. So you might different times. You can do that Anytime Fitness in Callaway because they're open 24/7. Anytime Fitness in Callaway, go check it out. Liz Hunt, a veteran, does a great job over there. Tell them Coach sent you. Go join. Get yourself in shape. You want to look like Glenn Manley, feel like Glenn Manley, you got to work out. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Round is the shape.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He dives! He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
It's off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 82 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a gentle breeze out of the east and a temperature of 69. About the same tomorrow, around 81 with mostly sunshine and a wind at 10 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. Sunny Friday and quite warm around 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Well, it's that time of the year again, folks. Yep, Christmas is right around the corner. And to avoid the stress and rush, Tracy's Fine Jewelry is starting our Christmas sale early. That's right, all diamond jewelry is on sale for 30% off. All estate jewelry is on sale now for 40% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, and bracelets. Mark it off your list and lay away now. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we love to save you time and money. So avoid the rush and come see us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
His biggest fear about the zombie apocalypse is all the walking. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark McLeod talking about the Florida-Georgia game this week. 2:30 kickoff on ABC. Mark, they talked about, and these two guys are the best at it. Steve Spurrier, the legend, unbelievable, evaluating talent, recruiting the talent, and then coaching them up. Him and Kirby Smart do an incredible job. I want to ask you this. This is a formula they use. I'm not sure I agree with this or not, but this is what they said. The evaluation, you look at what Florida State's done, they've made some poor decisions, bringing in the wrong type. Whatever reason, they didn't do a very good job evaluating talent. So that's important. And then recruiting them. You got to get them on campus. You got to get them to sign with you. And then once you get them there, you got to coach them up, develop them, and all those things. They broke it down this way, and I'm just curious your opinion on this. 25% of it's valuation, 50% of it's recruiting them, get them to sign, and 25% of it's coaching up. I don't agree with that. What what percentage would you have evaluation, recruiting, and coaching? Break it down for us. What do you think?
Wow. 33.
Exactly. I'm with you. You're exactly right. That's what I say.
Seriously, Coach, there's no other formula.
Yeah.
You have to be efficient, really efficient in all those areas. Paul Bear Bryant, Bobby Bowden, Paterno when he was coaching. I mean, good gracious, Spurrier, the great ones. You look at all of what they do, and there's some differences, but there's a lot of similarity in those three areas.
That you knocked it out of the ballpark. That's perfect what you said. I'll never forget. I was reading a book that's about Bear Bryant, and the guy it wasn't even about him, but he worked for Coach Bryant, and they had a film going on, and they were recruiting this kid, and they were going, man, I really want this guy right here. Look at him, and Coach Bryant watched it. All of a sudden, he goes, "Hell, I don't care about him. I want whatever the number was, 50 something." And that guy turned out nobody else even looked at him. Coach Bryant noticed him. They started watching him. They signed him, and he turns out to be a great player. I think he's the guy that had that situation with Georgia Tech way back in the 60s. Anyway, he's a great player. But you got to evaluate, and you can't be wrong anymore. Look what's happened at Florida State. The people that did a poor job in evaluating talent, they're dying. They're dying right now.
Yeah, live by the portal, die by the portal, and look, and guys, we've seen it at Florida, and Florida didn't do much in the portal at all compared to Florida State and some other schools. But you saw it, and Baker even commented on it, that, it takes some guys a little longer to get it together and to bring it all together. And that's why, I know they were talking about it on SEC Nation a week or two ago, talking about the fact that offensive line play, there's a struggle now, because you're seeing offensive line play, and Coach Manley can speak on this. You're seeing at some of these schools, especially the ones that hit the portal pretty hard, you're seeing it take longer for those guys to kind of gel and come together than you did when you had guys who'd been together 2 and 3 years, even if they weren't starting. They knew the system, they knew the process, they knew everything. And when it was their time to shine, most of them stepped in and did the job. We could talk about various levels if they did it, but yeah, it's just a tough thing to see. And I think you look at Georgia right now. You're seeing Georgia come together. You look at Alabama. Alabama come together early, and then all kinds of problems. And then last weekend, they looked on the field. They looked together. They looked like they were all dialed in and ready to go play football. And you saw the sideline. It just had a different atmosphere, different feel on the sideline, according to two of the Alabama guys that I talked to that were covering the game. But I just think that it takes a little bit.
Yeah, when you besides that, all 5 of those guys have to work as a unit, but you need to know the guy on each side of you, what his capabilities are and what he likes when you're supposed to assist and all that. So to get to know each other, they almost have to walk around as a group all the time. And so when those guys come in, it takes them at least a year to know the people. So
talking about evaluation, I had one of our former players worked up with Saban at the Alabama recruiting department, and he said, Coach Saban, he is the final say-so who we can sign, who we can. And it might be the defense coordinator. If Saban doesn't sign off with him, they're not going to sign him. And he goes, you would not believe the amount of time Saban spent watching film, evaluating high school talent, and he was the master at it. But he was willing to put the time in to do it, where some other coaches, I don't think, want to put all that time every single day, minute you got free, watching films. I think that's some of it also.
Yeah, it's a different world right now in college football. It really is. I mean, you've got guys who have already opted out of the season 3 weeks ago. They said, well, we're not playing anymore. 4 weeks ago, really, with some of them.
We had a question for you. There was a question somebody said to ask you. What was it about? It was the former quarterback from Florida.
Well, it was about Anthony Richardson.
Asking that question.
Well, just what were your thoughts, Mark, on Richardson kind of pulling himself out of the game, claiming exhaustion, this, that, or the other, just in general?
Horrible, but people forget he did that at Florida one time. I remember there was a play at Florida where he had run for a big gain, and he had run like the play before that, and I don't know. He had like 3 plays in a row where he was running around like crazy, and he came to the sideline in that game, and I think they called a timeout, the Florida game. But so that's a bad look. That's a terrible look, I think. And you know, I look at all the great quarterbacks that have played football, be it college or the NFL, and goodness gracious, I just don't recall seeing that happen maybe once or twice in my entire career, and that was may have been a high school kid that did that. I don't know.
Well, usually they don't. You have to drag them out when they only have one arm. They still want to play.
That's the old days. Man.
Yeah,
that's the old days.
Well, but I think that's the way we feel it should be. Is that the coach should come in and say, "Look, somebody can help us better than you. You're out, but what you want to see out of the player is you're going to have to drag me off of this field, and then maybe you do drag them off the field. But that's the thing. But what I was saying earlier, Mark, is I think these kids have so many people in their ear now, and there's so many pundits and different things like that say if you're not 100%, you don't need to be in there. You have more risk of getting injured. You're not putting your team in the best position, and I think
it makes you look bad.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these kids are brought up with that mindset. I think we're going to start seeing this more and more, unfortunately.
Yeah, hey, and guys, I go back, and you may remember me telling you this back in a couple years ago, but Anthony Richardson, we're sitting at a press conference, and I asked someone had asked him a question about using his legs, and I asked him a question about, do you feel like you need to use your legs more often? This and that. He's, I didn't in this game. Well, I didn't really want to run. Are you kidding me? My first thought was Tim Tebow. I'm like, Tim Tebow would look at this kid and say, no, man, you got to put the team on your shoulders and go win the dang game.
Right.
That's what you're here for. No, it's not whether you want to run or not. But he said that, and later he said that, I want to say 2-3 games later, he said it again in the press conference. Well, I didn't really want to run. I wanted to kind of throw it and make something happen. And you're sitting there and you're listening to us going, what are you talking about?
Wow, right. Crazy. Hey, I want to ask you get your thoughts on a couple of these games. Oregon is at Michigan. They're 14.5-point favorite. What happens there?
Good grief. Coach, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen much of Michigan at all, not since the Texas game. So I really don't know. I would guess Oregon. I think Oregon, at least based on the little that I've seen, and there are people listening that have seen a whole lot more than I have, but I would say that Oregon's playing some pretty doggone good football right now.
Kentucky at number 7, Tennessee. Tennessee's favored by 15.5. What do you think happens in that one?
Kentucky, yeah, Tennessee all the way. I don't know what's going on with Kentucky. That is just a bizarre. This is not your typical Mark Stoops team. And they have some talent on the defensive side of the ball. They have a little bit of talent on the offensive side of the ball, but yeah, they've got some real issues at quarterback, and I think they have some real issues in leadership on that team.
Texas A&M, they looked good last week in the second half. They looked unbeatable. They're at South Carolina. South Carolina's better than people think. They're only a 3.5-point favorite. What do you think happens in this ball game?
This could be one. Texas A&M. Really, you look at the schedule. They haven't had to get up and play big teams. But this could be scary for them because that South Carolina defense and that defensive front, they're nasty. They're nasty. This is going to be a war. It really is, and this could be one where Texas A&M finally gets tripped up being on the road. It's going to be interesting to see because they got to get quarterback play. And look, they're going to have to go to Reed. Wegman just doesn't seem to lift that team up and get them going. So I think Marcel Reed is going to have to be the signal caller there, like he was in Gainesville when he played really well.
One other game I did want your opinion. I said kind of watch out for this. I think it's Ole Miss at Arkansas. What do you think about that one?
I like Ole Miss. I don't think I think they've got a lot of work to do in coming together. They seem to have more talent, and then they're just not playing to that level yet. Like we've seen with Alabama and like we've seen with a couple other teams. But I think I think I'll take Ole Miss. Maybe Kiffin can pull it out here.
All right, Mark. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Are you going to the game?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Let us know what's going on. Thank you, buddy.
Okay, we'll text you.
Mark McLeod. Mark McLeod. All right, thank you, guys. Brian, thank you. Glenn, thank you. Wildcat, thank you. And all the great people listening, thank you so much. We're out 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.